So today, during today's meeting, to first start off, I would like to inform everyone about some of the negatives about outsourcing as well. Secondly, I would like to go over a case presentation of Boeing, an American firm, and its horrendous experience with outsourcing. And then towards the end, I would also like to go over some other examples citing why we shouldn't outsource, and lastly, some concluding thoughts, as well as answer any questions anyone may have. So according to the Computer Source Online Economics, the total number of jobs outsourced in 2011 was approximately 2,273,392, which is a pretty staggering statistic, but this actually wasn't compiled until July 20th of 2012, so I assume these figures are actually a lot higher currently. And business process outsourcing is defined as fulfilling a business work process under the back process, which would include accounting services, financial services, or payroll services. And it also involves front-end business processes such as customer service. And outsourcing has become a very hotly debated topic in today's global environment. We're always trying to reduce and eliminate costs. However, this can be disadvantaged in some scenarios. And a few of the reasons American firms should not consider outsourcing are the lack of control and quality standards, miscommunication that occurs, and lastly, the loss of home-based jobs for the American economy. Miscommunication is a major reason not to outsource because, as many of you have probably had similar experiences, when you're calling a customer service, when you're trying to call a company because of a problem you have, a lot of the times you are redirected to a call center in a foreign country such as China or India, and a lot of the times numerous problems can arise. You're usually calling because you have a problem with the product or service, and if you're talking to someone that does not understand exactly what you're saying, this causes additional frustration on top of the problem you already have with the product or service. Next, lack of quality and control. When a business decides to outsource any of its when a company decides to outsource any of its business processes, it's going to lose control of that particular operation. Another entity or company will end up taking control of that particular process, for example, customer service. And lastly, American firms that are heavily outsourcing any of their processes are allowing foreigners to take over these jobs, and this has had a direct impact on our economy, resulting in a higher unemployment rates for the nation. So next, I wanted to go over a specific case example from Forbes wrote in January of this year, actually, about many of the outsourcing issues that Boeing had. So Boeing initially had a goal when they were creating their Boeing 787 plane. They had a goal of lowering their cost down from 10 billion to about 6 billion, and they also wanted to decrease their production time from about 6 years to 4 years. However, Boeing at this particular time, initially they used to outsource about 35 to 40% on each of the planes that they were working on, like the 737 and the 747. However, with the 787, they decided to outsource about 70% of the work done. And in this scenario, the results, as you can see here, they were billions over budget, and they were also actually 3 years behind schedule, so they weren't even able to finish this in the 6 years or 4 year period that they were trying to initially complete the project in. But however, if Boeing had initially invested in manufacturing or engineering experts in the United States, this would have helped to stimulate our economy here and provide jobs at home. And Boeing, in this scenario, should have also focused a lot on development and engineering at home, because, as I previously mentioned, 70% of the work was outsourced, but they ended up being behind schedule and over budget. The whole point of them outsourcing initially was to reduce their costs, and clearly this did not occur. Also, the University of Michigan conducted a research study that indicated that the American Consumer Index score would decrease for companies when they outsource their customer service departments, and this also had a direct correlation with a decrease of about 1 to 5% in a firm's market capitalization, which can be a huge staggering amount. Also, by seeing these figures, by stating these statistics, it should be clear that firms, especially when considering customer service, should focus on bringing those services back home. So before going into any alternatives about outsourcing that I came up with, does anyone have any recommendations for how firms could possibly discontinue outsourcing? Well, I had 2 examples of my own for possible alternatives. The first one was actually automation. A lot of customers in today's global environment are becoming more and more accustomed to using automated services, such as automated customer care. So automated customer care will be available at any time of the day. It's convenient, and it addresses 3 simple questions. People can do it themselves, they can get immediate service at any time of the day, 24/7, and it's faster and easier to use than perhaps having to communicate with someone that is overseas and that won't understand what you're saying. The second example I wanted to present about why firms should not outsource is a case I found in Business Week. It was a couple actually that ran a market tour operation company where they would have overseas vacations. And what their realization was that their call center they decided to have at home in Boston actually, because they thought that even though they would have more costs by having their call center at home, they thought that they wouldn't exchange that for the great customer satisfaction that they were already receiving. So one of the quotes I took out of the article was that they said that they did the math and they could have saved $3 million each year. And like I previously stated, they decided not to outsource because they wanted to continue providing excellent customer service. And a few concluding thoughts. As I previously mentioned, outsourcing is initially it can sometimes be an end-all solution for companies when they're trying to reduce or eliminate their costs. But a lot of these outsourcing troubles encompass lack of control and quality in your business processes. There could be a lot of miscommunication, and companies also need to consider the state of our own American economy and the job losses. And are there any questions about why I think we should not continue outsourcing?